You know he has a dragon. Did you bring a dragon yourself?
Danny.
Today we're here with House of the Dragon, episode 2. If you saw episode 1 with us here, you know how right now Danny's already seen this, but I haven't, so it's my first time. And so far, episode 1 hasn't really impressed me. But, to be fair, there were several other shows that really didn't impress me with episode 1, but really, it started picking up a lot after the other episodes. So I'm hoping this happens the same way. So before we start, for those of you on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Tell us your thoughts about the show. Tell us your thoughts about us, whatever it is. If you want to check us out on Patreon, you could go to patreon.com/watchingwhatever. All the TV episodes that we're doing, the first episode is for public viewing for free on there. So you can check that out. For our Patreon members, thank you very much for being here with us, and we hope you enjoy the show. So
the credits are pretty dope.
This is an interesting credit sequence. Right? It's got
just rivers of blood.
River of blood flowing through.
Yeah.
Ew. Oh, so this is the crab feeder. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. Oh my. Oh, he's still alive.
Horrible way to die, man. Oh, that's a nice shot, man. It's epic looking.
Yeah. I mean, either that or being skinned alive. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know which one would be worse.
King's Guard must soon be restored to its full complement of 7.
4 ships have now been lost. The last one was flying my banner.
I want to know what is to be done about my ships and my men.
I want to seize the stepstones by force and burn out this crab feeder.
I am not prepared to start a war with the free cities.
They're already at war.
I know.
Right?
The king's own brother has been allowed to seize Dragonstone and fortify it with an army of his gold cloaks. Daemon has squatted there for over half a year.
So it's been a half year already then.
Yeah.
You have dragon riders, father. Send us.
I mean, yeah, right?
Yeah, send us. End it in a second.
At least the princess has a plan.
It's literally the equivalent to hitting a ground force with air superiority.
Why don't you take the princess to see about the new King's Guard posting, Lord Commander?
That's your heir. Then you shouldn't dismiss her when she has an opinion in the middle of the council meeting, right?
Yeah, but it's also the idea of she's young and doesn't really know, in their mind, she's young, doesn't really know a lot yet. She's just kind of speaking out of emotion.
Out of turn or something.
Yeah. But isn't that also one of the tropes, right? They don't ever listen to the person who usually has the idea.
Right.
I mean, isn't that what we hear a lot in Korea? I'm older, so I know better.
All right.
Sir Raymond Mallister.
Do any of these knights have combat experience?
Sir Kristen Cole.
You saw combat in the Stormlands.
I fought for a year as a foot soldier against the Dornish incursions.
I choose Sir Kristen Cole.
She's got a thing for him.
Houses such as Prequal and Mallister are important allies of the crown.
My father should be defended by a man who's known real combat.
Politicians versus practicality or something?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Oh, absolutely.
It is truly wondrous what you've built.
Oh. So did he send his daughter to seduce him?
Do you believe that Westeros can be another Valyria, Your Grace?
Over 1,000 dragons, a navy large enough to span the seas of the world.
I wonder if his finger being damaged or injured has any significance right now.
All right, we saw previously in the other episode he had that injury in his back.
Yeah, some kind of infection or disease. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's spread.
I wish she would approach me.
What if you went to her?
There are times when I would rather face the Black Dread himself than mine own daughter of 15. You do not mention our talks to Rhaenyra, do you? I fear that she wouldn't understand them.
No, Your Grace.
It's kind of weird, right? Keep our relationship a secret.
It definitely feels like she's been sent to try to seduce a king.
What if your father were to remarry? Your father loves you. He chose you for his heir.
He didn't choose me, he spurned Daemon.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's a possibility that that girl there ends up marrying the king, having a son, and now another contention as the king wants to make the son the heir.
I feel close
Good.
to her.
That's a good possibility.
Good
there.
prediction. Yeah. I mean, that would ramp up the drama, right?
Oh yeah, because now you got her, Daemon, and then it would be a third contender. And she would have to basically, have to fight against her uncle and her friend. I mean, you can even see the little changes in her friend's demeanor from the first episode to now.
What do I say? Whatever you wish.
I think the actress who plays Rhaenyra is great.
I'm still on the fence.
I want him to see me as more than his little girl. When I wish to talk with him, I know that I must make the effort.
I wish to apologize for the tenor at the small council today, Your Grace.
As king, it is my obligation to avoid war.
At the moment, the crown is perceived as being vulnerable.
Do you have a specific course of action to propose, my lord?
Wed our daughter, Lena.
Still political moves, right?
That puts them that much closer to the throne too, right?
Yeah. if their daughter marries him and has a kid, now they're grandparents to the new heir.
Ask for a stronger match than Lena.
And then it's your cousin's kid, who looked like she was 10 years old in the last episode. So I'm telling you, there's a lot of inbreeding with them.
We haven't spoken much.
Which is like the European royalty, right? Where the Habsburgs and stuff, where they wanted to keep their bloodline pure. So a lot of them married within their families.
I loved your mother very much.
I thought I might have had some insight.
You're young.
But
You will learn.
Yeah, see, that's always, you're young.
She wanted to say I might be helpful, and he's like, "You're young." He thought she was gonna apologize or something.
Yep. What is that? Maggots?
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh, for his injuries.
To eat away at the dead flesh.
Right.
This is our best chance to save the digit, Your Grace.
So his time is getting shorter too.
I held an audience earlier today with Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. He proposed a marriage.
Lord Corlys has overreached, Your Grace. A match with their daughter would go a long way towards sealing the breach. The Grand Maester's reasoning is sound.
Oh I forgot. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, she's like 10.
It would be a great honor to join our houses as they were in Old Valyria. I would give you many children of pure Valyrian blood.
Is that what your father told you to say?
That was a mistake. They should have brought her to him a little bit older, because he'll never be able to see her as anything other than a child, right?
Yeah.
It is his duty to take a new wife and strengthen his line. Lena is your daughter, Princess. Does it bother you?
Whether it's to my daughter or to someone else's, your father will remarry, sooner than late. His new wife will produce new heirs, and when that boy comes of age and your father has passed, the men of the realm will expect him to be heir, not you. Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne.
I'm trying my hardest not to compare this with Game of Thrones.
It's inevitable.
Lord Corlys Balarian has offered the hand of his daughter, the Lady Lena.
Her look.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
I'm sure that she is good and kind, and that she will enjoy your company, as I have, Your Grace. I brought you something.
What do you think it is?
I was gonna say the broken piece.
Good guess, man.
Your Grace, I've called a small council to an emergency session.
Dariloros daimon sikia sida se glivzeus.
It is the pleasure of Daemon Targaryen, the Prince of Dragonstone and rightful heir to the Iron Throne, to announce that he is to take a second wife. Her Grace is with child. The Prince has invited you to his wedding, Your Grace.
Scorio dromon Daemon Leitas.
Dromon hidrotso iles dariloros. Dariloro belo matsumbile. Iderepte enkono.
Wow.
Let me go to Dragonstone. Will you see the king tonight?
If you wish it.
I've assembled 20 of your best household guards, my lord hand.
They made like the locations feel even more epic than like Game of Thrones even.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
This is definitely not what it looked like before.
Yeah.
Like Dragonstone, the keep there looks huge.
Yeah. That is a nice. That looks amazing, man.
Welcome to Dragonstone, Otto.
You're to relinquish the dragon's egg, disband your army, banish your whore, and leave Dragonstone by order of his grace, King Viserys.
Where is the king? I don't see him.
He's pretty ballsy, though.
Ah, yes, apologies. I couldn't recall.
Crispin.
Perhaps my prince recalls when I knocked him off his horse.
Very good.
You've come for the egg.
Here it is.
To choose violence here is to declare war against your king.
You know he has a dragon. Did you bring a dragon yourself?
Oh, dude, he's got the red dragon. That's right. Oh my god. I mean, you would just feel helpless.
Is it? Yep. Now, would that red dragon still listen to her? Or is it loyal to David?
They made the dragons look pretty dope, though, man.
Yeah.
They spent some money on the budget.
Look how big that red dragon
dragons.
is, though, compared to hers.
Yeah, that's like a little baby compared to that.
What are you doing here, Princess?
Preventing bloodshed.
Sir Kristen, please escort the princess to safety.
Take care not to startle Syrax, my lords. She's rather protective of me. If you wish to be restored as heir, you'll need to kill me.
Do it. Do it.
What was the point of him doing that? He wasn't gonna kill his brother or his niece, right?
I think it's just him
Just lashing out or something.
Yeah, I feel like it's given.
All right.
And that I was with child.
Perhaps when we are wed, we can make that true. No one will harm you.
Most of my years have been spent living in terror. I didn't come into your service wanting gold, the power. I came to you to be liberated.
From what?
Fear.
I have come looking for an unencumbered opinion.
You sit upon the highest seat in the realm, Your Grace. Proud men don't like having to look up.
I never asked to remarry.
Marriage is not an obligation you can put off for long. The sea snake has made a calculated reach, fair play for a man of his position. You should wed Lena Velaryon, Your Grace. Sate Lord Corlys and fix him at your side.
Your Grace, the princess has returned from Dragonstone.
Dragonstone?
It's interesting that he's asking about this not to his hand, but to like a random guy on his council. Well, not a random guy, but a different member of his council, right?
Yeah.
You disobeyed me.
He doesn't trust Otto, maybe?
Or maybe he feels that Otto has prejudice, right? Like he...
That's true.
So he wants someone of a more just neutral stance.
Right.
You could have been killed. You went to Dragonstone.
And retrieve the egg without bloodshed. A feat I'm not sure Sir Otto could have accomplished alone.
Yes. Well, I sometimes forget how alike you both were. I wish I had known better. What to say to you in the aftermath. I struggled to realize that my daughter had so quickly become a woman grown. But I know she understands what is now expected of me.
The king must take a new wife.
I could never replace your mother. No more than I intend to replace you as heir. But you are my only heir. By marrying again, I may begin to ensure that we are better defended.
Mother would have understood this. Just as I do.
So what's he gonna do? Is he's gonna choose what's his name? Lord Colis' daughter or the Hand's daughter? I'm gonna take a guess that he's gonna reject Lord
I have decided to take a new wife.
Reject his offer.
I intend to marry
Otto Hightower's daughter. I knew it. I knew it.
Now you got Corlys and his wife, the queen, who never was.
Yep.
There's another enemy.
I am your king.
Everyone's playing games. She feels so betrayed.
Yeah, man. You'd probably be like grossed out too, dude.
Well, the other option was a old.
That's true.
And your cousin.
House Valarian's origins reach back to old Valyria, more ancient even than House Targaryen. But unlike the Targaryens, we were no dragon lords.
We didn't have dragons. Yeah.
When I ascended the Driftwood throne, I knew what I wanted.
So his kids, even though they're part Targaryen, they don't have dragons, huh?
I've always thought of you and I as having been made from the same cloth.
I wasn't aware you had a king for a brother.
We're both men who have had to cut our own way through the world. We've been passed over too often. You've heard of the troubles in the Stepstones?
Man, I want to eat some crab.
It was never my brother's strongest trait, being king.
The Crab Feeder is backed by powerful entities within the Free Cities who wish to see Westeros weakened.
Oh, they're nailing him. Oh my gosh. Who is the crab feeder?
My house will be crippled. I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts and balls and tourneys.
I will speak of my brother as I wish. You will not.
Still show some loyalty.
Yeah.
Prove your worth to any who might yet doubt it. We are the realm's second sons, Daemon. Our worth is not given. It must be made.
That must be like grayscale, right?
Yeah. Because
What he
it's
has
all
on his,
hardened.
like, body. Ugh.
Alright, so that was episode 2. Season 1, episode 2 of House of the Dragon. So I'll say that episode 2 was definitely better than, from what 1 was. It picked up. There's a little bit more intrigue now. Obviously things have gotten a lot more complex and complicated.
Right.
It's not just Daemon now who's vying for the throne, but you've got Corlys and Otto, and now we're introduced to this crab feeder character. So at this point still, I'm not really invested in actually, I'll say this. I'm not invested in any of the characters except for Daemon, actually.
I was about to say, I think he had this episode, I think, was called the Rogue Prince.
The Rogue Prince, yeah.
Yeah, so this is definitely an episode to kind of build up his character and make us feel a little bit more kind of intrigued by him, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by him. I'm whether he's a good guy or bad guy, I'm definitely more I'm starting to like the character. The only thing is, as far as with the way like the scene with him and the lady, the girl that he took with him, right? The in the show
Missaria.
Missaria, right? They call in the show they
Yeah.
call her the whore, which that's what she was,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
That scene felt so dry, right?
Uh-huh.
It didn't feel like there's any kind of chemistry between the two. Like I said, when she was doing her thing, it almost felt like she was just kind of reading from like a teleprompter or something, you know. So, the scene, a lot of the scenes just felt a little bit that way.
Well, a lot of the scenes.
Not a lot, but there are a few scenes, right? The ones that actually felt like they had some emotion that I could really feel on, was the scene with Viserys and the Otto's daughter. I can't remember her name.
Alicent.
Alicent? Yeah, Alicent. There we go. Right. There, I could feel a little bit of some kind of emotion going on in there, right? The scene with Viserys and Rhaenyra, that one I could definitely feel like it didn't feel dry at all, right? There was actually a connection there and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, even the scene in the council, with all of them sitting there with Lord Corlys and Otto and everyone, just it felt kind of lacking to me a bit. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, consciously and unconsciously comparing it to Game of Thrones or what, but I'm not getting as much of those different mix of emotions during the show.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think this is my second time watching, and I think like the kind of excitement and newness I felt when I first watched it made these episodes kind of exciting and everything for me. But watching, like, having watched the pilot again with you, it did feel like what you were saying about how we don't really feel for any of the characters right off the bat. I think that's a very good kind of criticism. I don't know if it's the actors they chose or not, but I think in this episode I felt a little bit more like they gave us a lot to kind of chew on with in terms of the actors. I think the guy who plays Otto, he's probably like the most famous guy in this cast. I think he's kind of killing it. I think like his kind of subtle, smarmy kind of like thing he's doing well. I think Viserys and is kind of like, oh, like I'm like a bumbling king or whatever. I think he's doing that pretty well. I mean, like, I
agree with that. I want you to continue on, but just a quick with Otto, right? I never know how to say his actual name. Rhys, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I like that actor. Right. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, even from his early days. But in here, aside from those little subtleties he's doing, I just don't feel anything from that character.
Interesting.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
What you were saying?
Oh no. So I feel like in this episode they did a lot more to kind of expand on each of the characters, especially because now we're kind of more familiar with them. And I think this episode did a lot more to kind of present like who's like doing what, right? We're seeing I think a lot more of the motivations here. It's becoming more clear. Like obviously, like we know for sure now in the first episode, Otto Hightower was trying to get his daughter to seduce the king, essentially, right?
Yeah, that answers that question.
Yeah, we knew Daemon wanted the throne. Did he just want it? Like, why does he want it, right? And right now, I feel like he's almost like a kind of a spoiled child. Like, it's mine, right? It's supposed to be mine. And then he does this whole like it was like a mummer's farce. Like what was he trying to do by taking like the like a prostitute and pretending like she's pregnant and all this stuff? It's like it was such a lame plan, like
yeah,
it just like
you're right. It felt like a little kid who was putting on a tantrum.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to use that word. It's like he's throwing a tantrum, And so, but like, at least we get to see like this dude is, there's something, it added a little bit of complexity to his character,
Yes.
yeah, for sure. And I think for me, like the standout performance is the girl who plays Rhaenyra. She's really good. I think even Alicent does a pretty good job. Like they have these little subtle facial twitching thing that they do, like without having to speak, that I think like they do really well.
I definitely agree with you there. Like I said earlier, I was on the fence. But that scene where when Viserys announces he's gonna marry Alicent, right? The look on Alicent's face and the look on Rhaenyra's face when she realized what's going on, that subtlety there was really well done. I really appreciated that part. And just it wasn't any big expressions, just a small change. Alicent, it was like you could see the excitement, but yet the nervousness and the fear when looking at her friend, at what she had done, deceiving her friend, and Rhaenyra's realization of what's been happening, just it spoke so much just from those little glances.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was really good. I also thought like the scene where Viserys tells Alicent that he's Corlys has kind of made a play to marry Laena.
Yeah, you can see that in
this that like face twitch, like it was really good. And then I think that scene where Viserys and Rhaenyra are talking about the queen, the dead queen, and Rhaenyra has this kind of her eyes just kind of look wet, right? And I think I don't know if they put drops in there or she's just a good actress or whatever, but it's this kind of like she's sad without being sad, and you can just tell because her eyes are so shiny, like she's got that I thought this was better. I think but I could see some of the things you're talking about for sure. Like some of the moments don't feel as epic as they want it to be, and I think a lot of it probably does have to do with our kind of Game of Thrones goggles or whatever.
No, I'll say this. The things I stated earlier is it's a bit of nitpicking, right? Because like I said, episode 2 did get better, right? I am more interested now to find out what happened. I'm enjoying it a bit more, right? So what I'm picking at there is just all the things that are still in the back of my mind as far as how I'm feeling about it. But it's not to say that it's a bad show or that I don't like it. I'm starting to enjoy it. And I think we basically covered everything that I had written down. Viserys though, him dying. Is it gonna be where season 1 he dies and now it's a power struggle, or is he gonna make it through to season 2? I don't know. Danny does, right? I'll call it now, just as my prediction, that within season 1, Viserys is gonna die. Right? Either his disease or something takes him out. That's what I'm gonna call. Right.
Okay.
But Alicent he does have an heir. He does have a male. He does get a male heir before he does.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good prediction. I think I was thinking 2 things I wanted to kind of commend the show for was the set design, or not the interior set designs, but the kind of exterior
other exterior shots.
Wow, beautiful, man. It's they did a really good job of making the world feel super large and super epic, even more than Game of Thrones.
That's something I subconsciously I recognize that, but until you pointed it out, there was something there. But you're right, the world feels much bigger just from the shots that they did outside, right? Whereas Game of Thrones, yes, it was, it was still visually great, but it felt more compacted.
Right. Yeah.
This with Dragonstone, right? You got the long walkway, the archway, the huge castle, everything. It just feels so much bigger. You got the mud flaps with all the crabs and everything, and it feels way more epic. Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, I am starting to enjoy the show now. It has piqued my interest a lot more. So it's not something that I want to just, you know, stop watching and go to something else. I do want to keep watching. I'm really interested. Actually, what I'll say is the thing that got me the most interested in this is in this episode is the crab feeder. I'm very, very interested to find out more about this character, who this person is, and everything. So, and more of the story. So, yeah, definitely interested. So
okay,
that's it for today. Again, people on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Give us your thoughts. Maybe what some of the predictions that you might have had. Don't tell me if it's true or not, because I don't want to know. I want to find out for myself here, but. You know, list down some of the predictions that you had when you were watching the show. And then our Patreon viewers, again, thank you for watching here with us. Thank you for being with us and supporting us. We really appreciate everything, and have a good night.
Thank you.